I'm going to be honest. And I really want to tell this story because I want ladies to know that, there's the good and then there's like the bad and the ugly. And my first experience, because of my own decision, was difficult because I took it way too seriously and my performance suffered because of that. And instead of playing from my heart and having a good time and playing for par and kind of being strategic in my placement shots, I did the exact opposite. I got into my head, focused on the negative, and I carried it with me.
Hello, and welcome to the Empowered Podcast, Why Disc Golf. Today I have Gabi with us, owner of Pixie Mud, and even more exciting, the 2021 Novice Champion of the United States Women's Disc Golf Championship. Welcome, Gabi.
Hi, thank you.
So glad that you could be with us today, and super exciting news about your win. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to join you here on the Empowered Podcast. I'm very excited.
Yes, absolutely. And we're grateful to have you. Now, today we're going to be discussing why Gabi continues to play disc golf and how we can also go about participating in the 2022 United States Women's Disc Golf Championship. So let's get started at the beginning. First, Gabi, why do you continue to play disc golf? What keeps you coming back to the sport?
Sure. I continue to play disc golf because it brings me immense happiness, an incredible opportunity to travel and meet new people, and just to enjoy the great outdoors. In disc golf, I have found friendship, I have found family, and just an amazingly positive community that spans miles across the country and even the world. For me personally, I've been able to set goals for myself and then reach those goals. I return back to courses that I played when I first started, and I see the change in my game, the growth of my disc golf knowledge, and just positive changes in my mental disc golf game as well.
Yeah, it is always great going back to a course you first started where you got maybe a plus 29 and you see that drastic improvement after several trainings that you've done or experience that you've gained over years and just owning that course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, well, let's get into the United States Women's Disc Golf Championship because I think that's
Sure.
what we're all excited to learn about. First, let's start with, what is it?
So the first United States Women's Disc Golf Championship actually occurred in Rock Hill, South Carolina, over 20 years ago. It's a traveling major event, and it allows all the different divisions to compete. So you're talking about novice, recreational, intermediate, advanced, pro, and then even age protected divisions. So it really gives all the different skill levels an opportunity to be challenged and an opportunity to shine. Just a little more information on that. So for a long time, it was held in Peoria, Illinois by the Wallace family. And anytime anyone ever spoke about the Wallace family and the way they would run that event, the feedback that I heard was they were always so warm and welcoming and wanted the ladies to feel like really, really at home. And I feel like it set the tone for every event thus far. So then after that, it started moving around the country. So you're seeing places like Georgia, Alabama, in 2019, Virginia, where I'm from, and then more recently, Northern California. And I think by doing that, you're really providing an opportunity for a lot of people that might not travel as far to be able to come out and travel. And then those that come to USWDGC every year, they get to experience different courses and different places while still seeing familiar faces throughout the year. So for me, Kelsey Sweeten, met her in 2019. And then, we've been just following each other through social media. So it's kind of like we've always stayed connected. And then this year I saw her again and it was like sisterhood. It was awesome. It was just great. She was rooting for me. I was rooting for her. And it was just incredible. So just to add, because I think this is so important, this year, over 260 ladies competed throughout all the various divisions. And just coming out of, the year that we have all had, it was even more powerful because that was like 100 more ladies than in the previous 2019 tournament. And it's not just about like the competition. USWDGC is just like comprised of so many other things that are incredible. So you arrive and you check in, and the check-in experience is wonderful, and you get your players pack. And then you have an opportunity to meet and greet like with the pros at their fly mart, which is like a kind of just like a fun happy hour. And then, you know, you've got the 3 days of competitive disc golf, but then when you're done with your round, you even have the opportunity to follow the pro women in their gallery. So it's just all of that composed in this one major event.
Yeah, it is so exciting. The content that I was able to see online was just so inspiring, and it made me really want to participate in it and plan to attend next year. And I've had several women reach out to me about that as well. And one of the main questions that comes up is, how do you get invited for it? How do you qualify for this event?
Sure. So the incredible thing about USWDGC is that you don't have to have a certain number of points to qualify, or really like anything that would make it tough for you. The only thing you really need to do is you need to sign up, and then you need to become, if you aren't already, a certified rules official. And that test can be completed online at the pdga.com website. It is mandatory that you take that test prior to, but it is so worth it, because not only is it great for the major event, but also just like any PDGA sanctioned event that you walk into, you'll just be really well versed in like the knowledge and rules and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's great to hear. It sounds like it's not really by invitation, but really,
Correct.
as long as you're certified and sign up for it, you're good to
Yep.
go. So really,
You're
it's just
good to
planning
go.
ahead.
Yes. So come on out.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone, plan to be there next year, 2022, US Women's
Yes.
DGC.
Oh my gosh, I'm
Okay,
so
so let's
excited.
get. Oh, I'm sure you're already like stoked for it. I'm
I'm
stoked
ready.
for it. So let's get into the exciting part. This
Sure.
year, you were actually the champion. You won the novice division. How did it feel? It started at the very beginning of you checking
Sure.
in and the whole process of the 3 different locations.
Absolutely. So my experience was incredible. I traveled to California with 2 girls, Amy from Virginia and Alex from Maryland. And it was just great to have that support system of ladies and then our caddies. We arrived a few days early just to kind of get settled in, check in, scope out the courses, and just get familiarized with everything that we were going to encounter. USWDGC is just like super cool. I mean, first there's the incredible players packs. In this year's, they had towels, water bottles, discs, minis, chapstick, candles, scrunchies. I mean, everything that you could think of, it was in there. And then you have the opportunity to play these new courses, and then you add in all of the volunteers who are like on the sidelines, like rooting for you all the way throughout. This amazing sense of community, because the locals, they just want to be a part of it, because they're like, this is my course and now you're here and I'm so excited. So, you know, it's that. And then the most amazing part to me is you are a part of history. You're making history and you're growing the sport at a national level. I like, every time I think about it, it like literally gives me goosebumps and makes me tear up, because it's just so much bigger than what you think it is. And then on top of that, I had an entire club at home just following the live scoring and checking in periodically. It was unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. That sounds super. So like you had a whole support group. So exciting. What
Mhm.
an experience.
Yes,
Did you do
absolutely.
anything special to prepare for the tournament before flying out?
Sure. So I kind of give you a little backstory. So my preparation for this tournament actually began in early 2019. I had participated in the event when it was held here in Virginia, and it was so close to me because there were some of the courses that I had like learned how to throw a disc, and you know, it was overwhelming. So I actually at first took it way too seriously. And I'm going to be honest, and I really want to tell this story because I want ladies to know that, you know, there's the good and then there's like the bad and the ugly. And my first experience, because of my own decision, was difficult because I took it way too seriously and my performance suffered because of that. And instead of playing from my heart and having a good time and playing for par, and kind of being strategic in my placement shots, I did the exact opposite. I got into my head, focused on the negative, and I carried it with me to like the next hole quietly, but it carried it with me to the next hole. But upon returning home from 2019, I was like, I have to have a different plan. I have to tackle this differently. I have to have a different strategy because I want to play another PDGA major event, but I don't want to go through the way I went through it. So I made a decision. I said to myself, I'm going to work on my mental game. I'm going to play smart golf. I'm going to take those 30 seconds. I'm going to take a deep breath, and I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to celebrate others. So from 2019 to May of 2021, I worked on all those things. And so when the opportunity presented itself to go back again and do it, I was ready.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because there's a lot of women who were posting online of their experience afterwards, how they really went into it with more like inflated expectations of
Sure.
their own game. And
Absolutely.
then, during the tournament, kind of had that mental struggle of not competing at the level that they were expecting themselves to do so. And then
Absolutely.
therefore, their game suffered because of it. So super important that switch of that mental game, going
Yep.
into it for the fun, like you were saying, taking your time, really assessing and following your game plan rather than going in expecting to just crush it.
Exactly. Because it's like about that. It's about the experience. And, then you find yourself, you're rooting for others, and you're just celebrating others, and, you're living in the moment. One of the pros here, they said, don't think about the past holes. Don't think about the holes in the future. Just like play your game and like focus on the now, and living in the present. So, I totally applied all of those things, and I ended up coming out and having like just such a magical experience.
I love that. Okay, so walk us through. You've gone, you're competed, you've played 2 courses, you're on your 3rd course,
Sure.
last hole, and you're throwing in your last putt
Yeah.
to claim your championship for the novice
Sure.
division. How did that feel?
I was overwhelmed. I had held the lead day 1 and then day 2. And so going into day 3, the final round, some of those same worries in 2019 kind of reared their ugly head. But when I came into like the final 9 holes, I thought to myself, just play. And thankfully, the last several holes were actually wooded holes, and very similar to my home course. So I just dialed in and I went for it. And then coming up on the last hole, it was super emotional. Like all the ladies on my card were kind of like, we just did this. We did this for 3 days. Like we have like been together, highs and lows and a roller coaster ride of emotions. But we got here, and we're one of 260 ladies. So going in at finishing up, I honestly wasn't even monitoring the scores. I thought I might have taken first place, but I was kind of like, I'll take any finish because I'm finishing. And then, I look up, I putt, and, we were so excited. And then the course director ended up coming down, and he informed me that I was the USWDGC Novice Champ. And I cried.
No, absolutely. What an experience. 3 courses alone, 3 different courses, all the women, all the emotions. It must have been just a super impactful experience.
Absolutely.
And so what are your plans now moving forward?
So this summer I'm actually working on launching Pixie Mud. So it is, retail merchandise of like disc golf goods. And so overall it's minis and trophies. But just bringing that little bit of magic that you see all throughout the woods. All of the products that I will be making are just colorful and fun, and they make you smile and forget about that next hole. One of the girls that I actually handed one of the minis that I had created to during the tournament, she was on my card, and I was like, I just want you to have this because you're just sparkly and fun, and I feel like you mirror the product that I'm creating. And like all throughout the round, I'd catch her just holding the mini and just like touching it and playing with it. And she was just like, this is great. This is magical. So that, and then I'm also I was just talking to the Nova Women's Club, which I'm on the board of, based in Northern Virginia. We are going to try to gear up and get a ton of ladies out for USWDGC 2022. I mean, we want to come with 10, 15, 20 ladies if possible, and just have a good time. So that's a lot of my efforts, as well as the Virginia Women's Disc Golf Series. I'm running my first tournament as part of the series, called Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. So a lot of exciting things happening over here in Virginia.
Oh my gosh, that all sounds so great. I'm super excited for the launch of your business. I know we have a couple of things in the works as well, which I'm looking forward to. And then your first event, do you feel like competing and winning in this tournament kind of has empowered you or inspired you to push further in the growth of women's disc golf?
Absolutely. I was just drawn to the name of your business, Empowered Disc Golf, because I think, part of going forward and being a part of this history and growing the sport is being brave enough to like step up and own a part of it, because you can go and you can compete and you can sign up for tournaments, but part of, I feel like, the most important thing is bringing the newbies in and making them feel warm and welcome and feeling like you can step up and run an event. So absolutely, just being a part of USWDGC and seeing it through the eyes of someone that attended it, I now know what I want to do for those that are coming in and coming to one of my events. So we're really excited over here.
Oh, that's wonderful. And I love the idea of like getting together with your local club and starting to plan to attend the next event, because it almost makes it more approachable. If you're going
Absolutely.
as a group with other people, and it makes it seem more realistic and exciting, and you're starting to train and get pumped for it. Now,
Yeah.
what would you say to other women who are interested in preparing for the 2022 US Women's DGC? What advice would you give them?
Sure. I would just say sign up, because that's like the first part of the journey, and then kind of everything falls in line. Sign up, become a certified rules official, participate in tournaments like locally. I feel like if you're well versed in competitive disc golf and you become familiar with PDGA sanctioned event etiquette, it's going to make everything a lot easier down the road. And then I would also just highly recommend, if you do sign up and you are going out there to compete and all of that, you travel in a few days early so you can get the lay of the land. You can sort of immerse yourself in the courses, because if you know where to land and you know where to throw, like that gives you like a even more of a confidence going into it. And then I would just say, have so much fun, soak it in, laugh, take lots of pictures, and just be proud of yourself that you are one of X number of ladies that is making history, because it's just incredible to be a part of it.
Yes, so everyone, mark it on your calendar. Actually, I don't think we have the date yet, but either way, put it on your planner. You're going to be attending the 2022 US Women's DGC and prepare for it. Now, Gabby, where can we find you on social media to follow your disc golf adventures and all the exciting stuff you have coming up?
Sure. So you can follow me on Instagram. It's at Disc Golf Gabs, as well as following me on Pixie Mud, which is Pixie_Mud. But I would also highly recommend following the Nova Women's Disc Golf Club page. I feel like these ladies are pioneers in kind of leading the disc golf, out here. I mean, they're running events, we're doing fundraisers, we're running league nights, happy hours, and we're just friends that have like just travel everywhere and make memories. And if you're looking to start your own club, or you're looking to start a league or something like that, we would be more than happy to kind of help you navigate and find your way. We are based in Virginia, but I think we are having a global mindset where we want to grow the sport like across the country and the world.
I love that. There are so many resources and supporters out there for you for anything you're interested in doing with disc golf. So be sure to reach out. I'm going to be listing Gabby's social media accounts down in the description. So be sure to click them, follow her and her adventures. And thank you again, Gabby, so much for joining us today. We're so excited to hear about your experience, and congratulations on
Thank
your
you.
championship win.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching the video, and be sure to be a catalyst for change.
Woo!